What is going on, everyone? Hope you all are doing well, and today I'm going to share why Amazon is not a stock that I'm going to be buying. In this video, I'm going to share my honest analysis of Amazon, where I feel like the stock is going over time, and a few reasons why I haven't bought Amazon even though several other YouTube investors have. But if anything sticks out to you as I'm going through these reasons, hit that like button. It helps more people hear this perspective as well. But with all that said, let's go ahead and dive right in. So when we think about Amazon, they're currently valued just under $1.2 trillion. And even though that is significantly lower than before, I am asking myself this question: what makes this a good valuation for Amazon? Just because the company has been down almost 40%, I'm struggling to see this as the best risk reward play on the market. Some of the biggest things people have said is that over the past few years, Amazon has had a much higher PE, or price to earnings ratio, which is where you take the share price and divide it by the earnings per share, or EPS. Over the past few years, the company has traded somewhere between a 50 and a 70 PE. But currently Amazon is trading under a 55 with a forward PE of around 70. Now, of course, we need to consider that this year's earnings is going to be a tough one because of the product and wage inflation. So the EPS, or earnings per share, for the following quarters will be much lower. But when we look at the kind of growth that they have had over the past few years, it has been significantly higher than what they're expecting for the upcoming couple of years. They're expecting to have 11% in 2022 and 16% in 2023. So given their expected growth, I think a solid PE for the company is about 40, which means the company should be trading under $100. Amazon is a great company, but I do not believe that it should be a buy at these current share prices. How many other companies are trading with lower valuations with similar growth? Especially with several companies trading around their 52-week lows, I don't see a reason for buying a company that has a high PE with only 15% revenue growth. Sure, it's down from where it once was, but that still doesn't justify its current valuation. Another thing to consider is where the sales are really going to come from over the next couple of years. I think it's fair to say that we are more than likely in a recession right now. And with there being high inflation, people are not going to spend as much as they used to. So where is Amazon going to grow for 2022 and 2023? Now, I'm not going to go as far to say that Amazon isn't going to grow at all, but to expect similar growth in earnings as before is hard to believe in my opinion. Their main part of their business is selling products on their website, and I honestly don't see how there will be strong growth in this segment both in North America and international. Now, they have seen growth in their physical stores, but with the possibility of unemployment rising and Amazon lowering their hiring target, it's hard to see accelerated growth here either. With everything going on in Europe, they are in an even worse economic position. So Amazon could even see negative growth in this segment for the upcoming quarters. Lastly, let's talk about Amazon Web Services. Now, this is easily their most exciting segment for growth, but the question comes down to what kind of growth will they be able to generate in this kind of environment? With businesses not having as much money as before, there's going to be less advertising, which could lead to less sales. So they will need to rely on their analytics and cloud services to carry this segment. With all that said, when we look at the company as a whole, it's really hard to see the same kind of growth over the next couple of years that we've seen in the past. That is a big reason why I believe we could see Amazon fall below $100 in the next few weeks or months, especially if the CPI or inflation data proves to be high once again and it is confirmed that we are in a recession. Although I do think that much of the market has priced in that we are in a recession, so this may not come to pass. Now, maybe after the recession, we could start to see incredible growth again from this mega cap. But how long will this last? If we continue to see high inflation, unemployment move upward, and there continues to be a reduction in spending, then we could see little growth from Amazon. The way that I see this is that if you believe the recession will be short, then Amazon could deserve a higher PE than a 40. But what if this recession goes on through 2023? How will Amazon's business look after this? I think these are all things to consider for Amazon, which is why I personally am not focusing on retail businesses who do not prioritize selling needs-based products. Now, I understand that I could be completely wrong about all of this, and it could be possible that this recession only lasts for a couple of quarters and we go right back to where we were. But given the fact that we are in high inflation, the Fed wants to continue to increase rates, and we are now at an extremely low savings rate, it's hard for me to see Amazon thriving in this environment. But even if they don't fall anymore, would you be able to say that this is one of the best companies to buy in terms of overall business model and valuation? I would say their business model is outstanding and probably one of the best in the world, but the valuation is still high in comparison to other businesses. I believe that there are still other great large cap companies with lower valuations with solid upside if you are looking to diversify with bigger companies. I have been really strict when it comes to pricing because there are so many great companies at low prices, and with small caps normally being the first to see massive drops in share price, I went after those during the end of 2021 going into 2022. too. Now we have seen the large caps get hit significantly, and I have some cash remaining to buy them. And so rather than many others buying companies at all-time highs, be firm with buying companies at your price targets. And honestly, that is why I don't see Amazon as a buy right now. If it falls to around $70, then I will consider it. But I don't feel obligated to buy it because it's at multi-year lows. I'm looking to buy companies that will remain strong through a recession with their needs-based products or those who are outside of retail altogether. Now they are still finding ways to innovate, like their new partnership with Grubhub, where all Amazon Prime members get free delivery from their Grubhub platform, which is really nice to see. But with the reduction in consumer spending because of inflation and the possibility of increased job loss, how will these kinds of partnerships help their business right now? Once this economic downturn ceases, I think these kinds of moves could help the company in the long term. But I still think that this next year or so is going to be difficult for Amazon. I can only see the company justifying a 50 forward PE if they continue to have 18 to 20% revenue growth for at least the next 5 years. Maybe they will find ways to utilize their Amazon Web Services to get them to this mark. But when I look at several other large cap companies, they're significantly more undervalued than this mega cap. I still believe that Amazon will continue to be a great company, but the valuation, in my opinion, is simply not at a point that I'm willing to buy. Now, we have seen several people start to buy Amazon at these prices, and here's why I believe that this happened. I think several investors never expected Amazon to be at these prices, so they did not hesitate to buy the company. Now, yes, the company has fallen about 40%. However, is Amazon one of the top stocks to buy at current prices? Or is it because they're a great company that people wanted to buy, and this could be the only chance that they get? It seems like many people chose to buy Amazon out of FOMO, and not because it was at a great share price. Given current valuations, I see much better opportunity elsewhere. Personally, I would rather be in a good company that is undervalued than a great company that is fairly valued or even overvalued. But that is how I'm feeling about Amazon. However, I would love to hear your thoughts about Amazon's current share price. Are you buying Amazon right now? What prices would you consider buying at? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. That way you're notified when new content comes out. Hope you all enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next one.